Biden administration has been lightly critiquing the shortcomings of the Obama administration. And it's not only revealing how Biden's leadership could be different from that of Obama's, but it's also pissing Obama's people off. Like, there's really no other way to put it. Now, I'm sure you all remember that on the surface, it appeared as though Obama and Biden had this great friendship, a great relationship, and there were never any problems. But beneath the surface, there were some issues, and there was a rivalry, which I'm sure Cenk will fill you in with more details about in just a minute. But right now, what we're seeing is that Biden, for instance, has said that Obama was not assertive enough in selling his economic stimulus plan, which the 44th president signed into law in February of 2009 amid a huge financial crisis. Others in Biden's circle have argued that the Obama stimulus was too small, and they're right. An error that current administration was adamant it would not make, and it forged ahead with a $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package. And there's also, and this is my favorite part, criticism toward how Obama was far too willing to negotiate and concede to the Republican Party. Another related critique is that Obama was too eager to get Republicans to sign on to his policy goals, from economic stimulus to the Affordable Care Act, when they had no real interest in doing so. Suggestions that he was naive in this effort have long irked the 44th president. And to be sure, I'm about to read you a bunch of statements from people who are close to Obama who are not pleased about the critique coming from the Biden administration. But Cenk, first you jump in.
Okay, first of all, drams. But this drama is actually important. It's not just fun, because who's right and who's wrong has really important ramifications for what we're going to do going forward. Now, of course, all of Washington is furious with any suggestion that the sainted Obama might have done anything 1% wrong. So there's the Hill had an article where they quoted Professor Alan Lichtman from American University, but really what they're doing is they're fishing for a quote to say, hey, Biden team, you better back off. And that's what reporters do a lot of times after the editor tells them to write a story in a specific way. Go find me someone who's going to say this. So what is the message they want to deliver? Well, it's in the form of this quote from Lichtman. Biden loyalists should, quote, tread carefully. There's very little to be gained from criticizing Obama, who in many ways was an extraordinarily successful president. In other words, don't mess with us, okay? Because their feelings would get hurt. And remember, the thing that Obama cares most about is his legacy. God forbid he should care most about his voters, okay? So I'm being super clear here. So who was right and who was wrong back in the day? There's no question about it. History has proven, honestly, us 100% right. Because what conventional wisdom in DC will do is they'll say, oh, there's nothing Obama could have done. Nobody back then knew that the Republicans would be this obstinate. That's not true. Go back to TYT clips from 2009, 2010. Go back to what Bernie Sanders was saying, Robert Reich was saying. So it's all the progressives were screaming, you're not gonna get the Republicans to vote for you. That is foolish. And they're like, oh, please, we're so sophisticated. We're sophisticated technocrats, and we know our fellow Ivy League alumni, and I'm sure that they're gonna work with us. Well, what happened, Rahm Emanuel? What happened, Axelrod? What happened to all of you? Now, you were all wrong. You hired people like Geithner and Summers, who are actually Republicans, and they told you to make the relief bill as small as possible, and you believed it. Look, was it dumb? No, because Barack Obama's a very smart guy. But was it naive? Definitely. Did it take him too long to turn around? It took him 6 years to turn around. Yes, yes, he was dead. Look, he was wrong. He just flat out was wrong. And if that hurts his feelings or anybody who worked for him, that's a sad day for you. We don't want Biden making the same mistake. Go large. The Republicans are irrelevant. In order to break a filibuster, you need 10 Republican senators. Does anyone on planet Earth think they can get 10 Republican senators to do anything on Biden's agenda? If you say yes, you're honestly an idiot, and your opinion should be immediately discounted. So anyone talking to you about bipartisanship honestly doesn't know one thing about politics in America. We were right all along.
Well, Cenk, since you mentioned both Rahm Emanuel and David Axelrod, two individuals who worked within Obama's administration, just know that they're very defensive about Obama's legacy and his record. And I do want to read you a few of their statements, starting with Rahm Emanuel, who of course served as Obama's chief of staff before he went on to be an awful mayor in Chicago. Now he says this: it's really about Obama versus Bush and Biden versus Trump, not the other way around. We built long-lasting, robust economic growth for the top 1%. And I think comparing one to the other is historically not accurate. And also, more importantly, it's strategically not advantageous. No, I actually think it is advantageous because you should take a look at the number of American voters who voted for Obama not once, but twice. But by the end of Obama's second term, they were so convinced that the Democratic Party was not gonna look out for their economic interests that they flipped over to a lunatic like Donald Trump. Now, obviously, I don't agree with the move that they made, but that's beside the point. The point here is that a lot of voters did put their faith behind Obama based on the campaign messaging that he used. It's just that he never implemented many of the policies that he campaigned on once he was elected. Also, in regard to David Axelrod, he says this: it is irksome only in the sense that it was an entirely different situation. If the Obama economic record were deficient, I'm pretty sure Joe Biden wouldn't have run on it. Look, I mean, it was deficient. Inequality grew under the Obama administration. And so one of the arguments that they're trying to make, Cenk, is that, look, it was just a different political time. Now the left has a bigger voice. They can apply more pressure. There's more support for deficit spending. And all of that may be true, but we're talking about the difference between the Washington intelligentsia and the voters. The voters overwhelmingly have supported robust and bold economic reform. They have. They did before, after the economic decline in 2008, and they certainly did after what happened with the pandemic and how that impacted the economy as well. That never changed. They want you to believe that that changed, but the only thing that's been constant and the only thing that's been informing the Democratic Party's views of robust policy is what the Washington elite believe and what their own corporate donors want. And that's a problem. If Biden follows that paradigm, it's gonna be an issue. He's not gonna have a good legacy or a lasting legacy. Why would he wanna repeat the mistakes of the Obama administration when he really does have an opportunity here to go down as one of the most important reformers of our economic system? That would be incredibly popular. I highly recommend that he goes in that direction.
Okay, so first of all, I love that the former Obama guys caught feelings. But guess what, guys? It isn't about you. I got news for you. No one cares about you. It's about, do people have higher wages? Do they have healthcare or don't they? So a person sitting there who's gonna lose their house because they didn't have enough money because of the ridiculous medical rates isn't gonna be like, oh, but what was Axelrod's legacy? God, you guys are so self-obsessed and self-important. Oh, I do declare whose legacy is better. Well, instantly I hate you and I think your legacy sucks because you're so obsessed with your own ego. So, okay, now let's break this down further. So, they say, oh, Barack Obama's a political genius. Now, look, there's some logic behind that. He's an African-American guy who won 2 elections. His name is Barack Hussein Obama. So obviously he was amazing in some ways. You can't take that away from him. On the other hand, he was incredibly selfish. Now, look, I'll even give the caveat of, look, they were gonna call him an angry black man. The Republicans were terrible to him. All of those things are absolutely true, okay? But they lost 1,000 seats under Obama nationwide. And he triangulated just like the Clintons. And what that does is it damages your own party. It says, my party sucks. The Republicans are not that good either. The only one who's reasonable is me. That's called triangulation. Bill Clinton invented that. Actually, Dick Morris invented that, and he's one of the worst right-wingers in the country, okay? And so Bill Clinton used Dick Morris, and then Obama was like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll be selfish too. I'll make it seem like I'm the only reasonable person. I'll win. Meanwhile, my own party will lose 1,000 seats. And he thought, and there's no question about this, he thought, I'll back Hillary Clinton in 2016 instead of Joe Biden. Did he let Joe Biden down after Joe Biden was loyal to him? Of course. Anyone denying that just is trying to be polite and lives in DC and doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. There's no question Obama picked Hillary Clinton over Joe Biden. Every single detail confirms that. So was Obama right? Because he's the political genius, right, DC? Oops, no, he was wrong. Hillary Clinton lost, Joe Biden won. Now, does anybody ever say that? No, you can't, because that would offend the powerful, including all of Obama's allies. Look, I don't dislike Obama at all. And so I'm just telling you what the political reality is. Now, there is a guy I dislike, it's Rahm Emanuel. And it isn't personal, I dislike him for his effect on the country. So Obama had the temerity to say, I really wish I had been pushed by the left more, and then that would have given me more room. That was one of the quotes he gave. No. When the left pushed you, I know I was there. You sent out Rahm Emanuel to insult us and call us, mentally deficient, etc. When you guys were the ones who were so silly, and you thought, oh, I bet the Republicans work with us, and we were mentally deficient. Oh, please. So now you're gonna come back with Rahm with his heartbroken. Oh, he's trying to now be like the ambassador to Samoa or something like that. Okay, because it's just further humiliation, which I'm here for and I love. But the reason I'm telling you this is because if Biden makes the mistake of listening to people like Rahm Emanuel, like Obama did, he will ruin any chance at relief for you guys. And I don't care about his legacy, but I know he does, and I know everybody in DC is obsessed with their own legacy. And Joe, like your legacy will be ruined if you listen to idiots like Rahm Emanuel, who will tell you to kiss Republican ass and then get 0 Republican votes. So there is a correct answer, and right now Biden is on the right path.
You're on the right path, Joey B. You got it. Go for it. Okay.
Yeah.
We support it.
Yeah, we're here.
But we got to take a break.
No, hold on. One super last thing, Anna. Sorry. Look, the other thing we have to note here is that the Obama guys were borderline cruel to Biden when they were in the White House. So we don't have time for the dozens of quotes here, but they used to make fun of how he wasn't that smart. And it's, oh, he's that embarrassing uncle at Thanksgiving. And he always talks too much and he goes in wrong directions, etc. So it's impossible on a human level to look at that and for Biden not to feel hurt by that. So he didn't get backed in 2016. He didn't get backed that much, although Obama did deliver for him. It appears in South Carolina, which was huge, to be fair, right? But and then to have those guys make fun of you all the time, and now they can't get their feelings hurt because you passed a bigger stimulus bill and you're fighting for bigger and better bills. Well, Joe, you got to say that's your problem, not my problem. Okay, I'm gonna get things done. And maybe this time you can go ahead and get your feelings hurt.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.